Right now, housing for UW students is needed, but a certain proposal that would help provide that isn't what the city council wants to see, and we'll share why.
Plus, Wisconsin's Joint Finance Committee has wrapped up its final budget meeting. What's included and where cuts could come if the governor approves it.
And we've learned all 5 aboard the Titan submersible have died. Investigators are still searching for answers while experts continue to question the safety of extreme exploration. It's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. The future of an apartment development in a spot downtown near the UW campus is up in the air.
This after the Madison Common Council had made it clear it is not the type of project it wants to see. Armand Rahman joins us in studio to explain why.
Yeah, Eric and Charlotte, developer Core Madison Bassett asked the council to rezone and approve their certified survey map for a 12-story urban mixed-use building with rooftop amenities, but they were met by shock and some anger at this week's council meeting.
I am literally shaking because I am pissed off.
13 alders felt similar.
A market rate is completely out of control.
After hearing from developer Core Madison Bassett about what the cost of their proposed market rate student housing downtown would be.
We don't have exact figures to speak through tonight.
But the prices in general will be competitive to the James and the Hub and other market rate units. Okay, got it. Thank you.
With that, council voted 13-6 to stop that development from moving further as it is.
I spoke to residents in the James that were pissed that they were paying $1,600 to $2,000 plus per month. They don't want more luxury high-rise developments.
Oh, I was extremely surprised.
It's a move Bill Connors, executive director of Smart Growth Madison, an advocacy group for property developers, says will hurt the city in the long run.
The concern is that developers are just going to be leery and not propose projects in the campus area. And we already have a real shortage of housing in the campus area at all price points.
But alders like Juliana Bennett say the city doesn't need to be saturated with market rate housing for affordable housing to develop.
Trickle-down housing does not work in this situation. I do, however, think that this will spark conversations and rethinking about how developers come into these conversations.
Connors, however, says the council might be breaking state law prohibiting inclusionary housing or forcing a developer to include affordable housing units to get market ones approved.
You're either going to get much higher rents than the already high rents that we've got going right now, or more likely developers are just going to say, I'm not going to play this game.
And while this project has hit a roadblock, there is no shortage of cranes on the downtown skyline, and there are still multiple other projects under consideration or construction in the area.
Armand, thank you. A dire warning from the head of Wisconsin's Department of Children and Families. More child care facilities could be forced to close when federal pandemic-related funding expires. This as the Republican lawmakers on the Joint Finance Committee chose not to continue funding the pandemic-era Child Care Counts program. Emily Amundsen says that once federal funding runs out in roughly 6 months' time, more facilities could close, adding more strain to the state's child care system. Democrats continue to push for the program. On Tuesday, a rally was held outside the state capitol to fund the Child Care Counts program.
Metro Market and Pick and Save teaming up today, donating $30,000 worth of food to the Way Forward Resources Food Pantry. Way Forward, formerly known as Middleton Outreach Ministry, promotes food security and food access to residents, something that some families have struggled with following the end of emergency pandemic benefits. It serves more than 5,000 people a year across Dane County. The food pantry has been serving the equivalent of more than 90,000 meals a month. That's a 130% increase from last year. Well, another scorcher today around southern Wisconsin. Julian joins us now with the first warn forecast.
That's right. It's another hot day for us throughout southern Wisconsin. It's going to be like that heading into tomorrow as well. So be prepared for some more hazy skies, sunshine, and temperatures in the 90s. We have an air quality advisory in effect until 11 p.m. for Friday for all of southern Wisconsin and Wisconsin in itself due to ozone. And we are still going to be holding on to those hazy skies as well throughout much of our Friday afternoon. But we'll start to lose a bit of its potency as we get into our Friday nights. So planning out tomorrow, here's how you can do it, folks. We're going to be seeing 90 to be our high for tomorrow, but waking up in the morning is actually going to be rather comfortable. We're looking at lower 60s around 6 a.m. We're going to increase those temperatures rather quickly. Around lunchtime, already into the mid 80s, and then it's just going to be hot for the rest of the day until the sun goes back down. Plenty of sunshine, some hazy skies, temperatures in the 90s and upper 80s is what we're expecting for us here in southern Wisconsin. So once again, find some ways to stay cool, hydrated, and if you do have any issues or sensitivities to the hazy or poor air quality, make sure that you limit your time outdoors. We do have a severe drought for parts of Dane County and areas to the west with a moderate drought for us here in southern Wisconsin, but we could start to at least nip at alleviating that issue once we get into this weekend with some widespread rain showers. We'll talk about how much rain we can expect in the timing in a few moments. Until then, over to you.
After months of debate, the state budget is finally finished at the Capitol.
The final touches hammered out today include cuts to the UW system and a significant tax cut. Political reporter Will Keneally live at the Capitol with more on that spending plan. Will?
Yeah, so the tax cut would amount to $3.5 billion, and it would shrink the state's 4 income tax brackets down to 3. Now, under the Republican plan, all of those tax brackets would see at least a little bit of a tax break, but most of the savings would be concentrated among the state's top income earners. At the same time, the committee voted today to cut $32 million from the University of Wisconsin system budget. Republicans says that's to ensure that the university won't spend resources on diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts.
We will be redirecting taxpayer dollars throughout the UW system that are now being spent to divide people based on race and a single ideology. And instead, we're going to focus these dollars towards enhancing Wisconsin's future workforce.
To punish an entire university because they are trying to teach their students a stronger sense of identity, because they are trying to teach them to be accepting and to be welcoming.
And Republicans on the committee said that they would disperse the $32 million later if the UW system gives them a proposal that doesn't include those DEI programs. Now, under the committee action tonight, they eliminate more than 180 UW positions. Those layoffs could come as early as July 1st. But now there's still a little bit more work to be done on the budget. It's likely headed for a floor session next week, and then it would head to the governor's desk. Now, Governor Evers has said in the past that he would veto the entire state budget with those UW cuts in it. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Madison police say a stray bullet damaged a bedroom window last night on the city's east side while 2 children were sleeping inside. Officers got to the home on Ridge Oak Drive and noticed the home had been shot. They found the bullet that got lodged in the bottom of the window. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but officers say 4 people, a woman and her kids, were all inside at the time.
You had a mom who had to tell 2 young children, get on the ground and crawl to a safer spot in that home. So right now we're just really concerned for that family, and we want to, find the person responsible for this.
No arrests have been made at this time, but anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 608-266-6014.
A former Madison police officer pleads not guilty to a disorderly conduct charge. Keith Brown was arrested last November after sheriff's deputies were called to a Madison restaurant for a disturbance. And when they arrived, a woman told them Brown had pinned her against a wall and squeezed her hands until they suffered cuts. He later resigned from the department during a criminal investigation into what happened. He'll be back in court in late November for a jury status hearing. Fire investigators believe a fire that spread to a South Madison home yesterday started because of a discarded cigarette butt. In an updated release this afternoon, investigators can't say they are certain that's the definitive cause of the fire on Badger Lane, but they highly suspect it to be. They say that cigarette came from someone at a nearby bus stop. No one was hurt, but a family of 4 is now displaced with roughly $200,000 in damage to their home.
Officials from both the Federal Aviation Administration and National Transportation Safety Board are investigating exactly why a small plane crash landed in the middle of a Wanakee neighborhood yesterday afternoon. The plane landed on Knightsbridge Road, which is north of the village's airport. After landing, it hit at least 2 vehicles before coming to a stop against the back of a minivan. 2 people were on board. They were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Well, today the U.S. Coast Guard confirming what has been long feared over the past few days. The 5 men aboard a submersible that went missing in the North Atlantic Ocean are dead after that watercraft imploded.
Well, they were on an expedition to see the wreckage of the Titanic, but were reported overdue after the submersible never returned to surface Sunday night. The Titanic, more than 12,000 feet deep in the ocean. Today, a remotely operated vehicle found a debris field near its site, which authorities and undersea experts say are some of the remains of the Titan submersible operated by OceanGate.
So essentially we found 5 different major pieces of debris that told us that it was the remains of the Titan. We found the front end bell of the pressure hull. That was the first indication that there was a catastrophic event.
Now, aboard the watercraft was the company's CEO, Stockton Rush, a French Titanic expert, a British billionaire, and a father and son from a Pakistani business family. Now the U.S. Coast Guard is combing through the evidence to try to determine exactly what happened to the OceanGate Titan submersible and why it imploded.
As Laura Hafley reports, the investigation now shifts to a recovery effort.
The U.S. Coast Guard delivered the grim news that all 5 people aboard the Titan were killed when the submersible imploded in the North Atlantic Ocean near the wreckage of the Titanic.
This morning, an ROV, or remote operated vehicle, from the vessel Horizon Arctic discovered the tail cone of the Titan submersible approximately 1,600 feet from the bow of the Titanic on the seafloor.
The Coast Guard says more debris was later found.
The debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber.
On board were OceanGate Expeditions founder and CEO Stockton Rush, who piloted the trip. His passengers were billionaire adventurer Hamish Harding, Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood, his 19-year-old son Suleiman, and French explorer Paul-Henri Nargeolet. In a statement, the company called the men true explorers and said, "Our hearts are with these 5 souls and every member of their families during this tragic time." OceanGate began conducting annual voyages more than 12,000 feet below sea level to visit the Titanic back in 2021.
The problem at these depths, where we're talking pressures of nearly 6,000 pounds per square inch, is that when something goes wrong, it goes cataclysmically wrong.
OceanGate has faced criticism from experts in the submersible industry. In 2018, a group wrote a letter to the company warning of possible catastrophic problems. Laura Hafley, CBS News, Boston.
Still to come on News 3 Now at 10, Lake Louis Brewing is rolling out a new beer.
But you'll only have a few opportunities to try it. We'll share where to find it. Plus, Julian's back with his full First Warn forecast, telling us when we'll finally see some much-needed rain. Stay with us.
Have you heard? We've outgrown our space. Again! Save up to half off floor samples and special orders at Dwellings Construction Sale. Dwellings, interior design and home furnishings. Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
Dear Freedom, here's to more miles driven, more dollars saved, and more electrified vehicles than any other brand. Yours, Toyota Hybrids. Toyota, let's go places.
George uses AT&T for his internet and mobile service. Anthony has Spectrum One. What's the difference? With AT&T, George pays a lot more.
I'm sorry, I do?
AT&T Internet costs $55, and AT&T Unlimited Extra Line costs $75.
Plus monthly fees. Ouch.
With Spectrum One, Anthony gets internet with fast and reliable speeds.
Super fast.
Advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced privacy and security.
With Spectrum, I get Security Shield, blocking threats.
And an unlimited mobile line with nationwide 5G.
Service, so reliable.
All for $49.99 a month. Go to spectrum.com/save more to see how much you can save. Or call us and we'll do it for you. With Spectrum One, Anthony is saving almost $100 a month.
That's almost $1,200 in savings. I'm switching to Spectrum.
Get Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and a free unlimited mobile line. Visit spectrum.com/save more or call 833-754-4999 today.
And I'm Announcing Madison Magazine's Best of Madison Readers Poll for 2023. Vote for the Best of Madison online today, including Fry Construction for Best Roofer, Windows and Doors, Kitchen and Bath Design, and Best Home Repair. Vote today for Fry Construction on MadisonMagazine.com.
The Spring Green Art Fair is coming June 24th and 25th to downtown Spring Green. Hundreds of artists from around the nation will be there both days. Don't miss the fun and excitement June 24th and 25th in Spring Green.
Dear Freedom, here's to more miles driven, more dollars saved, and more electrified vehicles than any other brand. Yours, Toyota Hybrids. Toyota, let's go places.
Have you heard? We've outgrown our space. Again! Save up to half off floor samples and special orders at Dwellings Construction Sale. Dwellings, interior design and home furnishings, still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
Experience the excitement of the Jennifer Hudson Show.
I'm competitive, so get ready.
From the neighborhood, we've got Beth Bear.
Y'all look real ready. I'm scared.
Plus the very handsome Aldous Hodge.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Concerts on the Square returns next Wednesday night for its 40th season. The Outdoor Summer Concert Series is an iconic Madison event. To celebrate 40 years, the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra has teamed up with Lake Louis Brewing of the Wisconsin Brewing Company for a special beer that will be exclusively available during these shows.
The only place you can get it is right here during the shows. It's a classical Vienna lager, and it's called Blanket Beer, appropriately named for kind of the vibe that's going on down here. So that beer will be unveiled next week at the first show, and we're excited to share it with everybody.
The three-time Grammy-nominated Cuban music group Tiempo Libre kicks off the series next Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Then there will be shows each Wednesday through August 2nd.
Layoffs are coming to some local food couriers. Eat Street plans to lay off more than 24 drivers later this summer as it shifts to using a delivery service offered through a third-party provider. That's according to a notice filed with the State Department of Workforce Development from yesterday. 26 layoffs in total are expected, and that'll begin around mid-August. In a statement to News 3 Now, the company says the move, quote, puts us in a better position to compete in the future and allows us to offer expanded delivery hours and broader coverage for our restaurant partners.
President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden welcomed Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the White House today.
India is now the world's largest democracy, passing China as the most populated country on earth. And as tension grows between the U.S. and China, India provides an opportunity for the United States. The two world leaders announced a new defense partnership between the U.S. and India today.
Together, India and the United States are working closely on everything from ending poverty and expanding access to health care, to addressing climate change, to tackling food and energy insecurity stoked by Russia's unprovoked war in Ukraine.
Prime Minister Modi also addressed Congress tonight, but a few lawmakers, such as Representatives Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, did not attend. That was in protest of Modi's alleged treatment of Muslims. E-cigarette use is flaring up across the United States. That's according to a new study by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
From January 2020 to December 2022, monthly e-cigarette unit sales surged by more than 46%. During that time period, purchases of tobacco and mint-flavored e-cigarettes fell, but sales of the fruit and candy-flavored e-cigarettes that appeal to the younger crowd shot up. According to the 2022 National Youth Tobacco Survey, over 2.5 million middle and high school students reported using e-cigarettes. E-cigarettes contain high concentrations of nicotine, a highly addictive chemical that can harm adolescents' brains. Well, hail slammed parts of Colorado last night, causing dozens of injuries. West Metro Fire says at least 7 people were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries when a hailstorm pummeled the Red Rocks Amphitheater. Nearly 100 people were treated on scene for minor wounds. Throughout Colorado last night, there were multiple tornadoes and large hail reported. And Julian is back with the first warn forecast. Nothing like that hailstorm, but maybe finally some rain sometime this weekend.
Yeah, thankfully we can kind of spare ourselves some severe weather, but we finally are looking to get some rain, which is definitely much needed for us. So taking a look at our forecast, here's our weather headlines. It's still going to be a couple of days until we get to see that rain, but nevertheless, folks, it's just a couple of, well, 2 days away from us starting to see any kind of rainfall for us here in southern Wisconsin. So taking a look at our weather headlines, we're still going to be hot for the next couple of days. We're talking 90-degree temperatures for Friday and for our Saturday, but we're going to stay dry only up until Saturday nights, because late in the overnight hours, we're expecting to see a system to bring in not only rain, but potentially even some thunderstorms. It's not looking to be severe for us here in southern Wisconsin, but nevertheless, it's finally going to be bringing in some rain that we've been really needing over the last couple of weeks. Now, as we get into the rest of our forecast, here's how things are panning out for us. We have the air quality advisory in effect until 11 p.m. Friday. So that's for all of Wisconsin. We're still going to be dealing with hazy skies for tomorrow that are going to start to lose their potency as we get into our Friday nights, but still it's going to stick around for us until we get that system that moves its way in, bringing in not only rain, but also cooler conditions behind it. So as the ridge starts to deflate by the time we get into this weekend, the low pressure system is going to move its way in, which is going to bring in that rain for us and the cooler conditions right behind it. Though our friends to the southern parts of the United States are still going to be dealing with that heat dome, which has been bringing some pretty strong storms that have been severe for that area. We're not going to be seeing anything like that. Instead, it's going to be the rain which we desperately need. We have a severe drought from parts of Dane County and over towards the western side, and outside of the rest of Dane County, we do have that moderate drought that is impacting us. Now, this rain is not going to cure our problems, but it will definitely help, especially as we get into our Sunday. We're expecting on and off showers, but it's going to be sticking around throughout much of our Sunday afternoon and even our nighttime hours. So expect the rain to really just close out our weekend. Getting into Monday, we're expecting a bit more of those showers to stick around as that system starts to wrap itself back into southern Wisconsin, but it's mainly going to be impacting the eastern side. So around this time, areas just south and west of Dane County, we're not going to be expecting to see too much rainfall going into our Monday afternoon and night. Here's a look at a ballpark of what we're expecting in terms of rainfall. Now, some areas could see less, some areas could see more. 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch, some could see 1/10, some could see 3/4 of an inch around southern Wisconsin. But the biggest gainers are going to be north of Dane County, which could see close to about an inch of rainfall, or potentially a little less, or even, again, a little more. A quick look at our 10-day forecast. Here's how things are going to be panning out for us. We're seeing temperatures into the 90s for Saturday, and then we're cooling right back down, as I had mentioned. We're going to see those upper 70s, low 80s to start off next week, and then Constitutional Squares next Wednesday. It's actually going to be rather nice. Any shower activity will be late at night, and then our first warn will be for Thursday and Friday of next week as we're watching for another system to be bringing in some showers or potentially even some thunderstorms.
And coming up in sports, Britta Curl honored for her achievements on and off the ice. What she did that hasn't been done by a Badger in over a decade. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
We went to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison last night.
I don't really get how the jackpots work.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison actually has had multiple million-dollar winners.
There are linked progressive slot machines at the same casino where local players increase the jackpot amount.
And a standalone progressive jackpot increases when a player plays on an individual machine that isn't linked to any other machines. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. More ways to win. Find your perfect jackpot.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. This is how legends are.
2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 LT TurboMax pickups, or current Chevy owners get a $5,750 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Attention, Wisconsin veterans.
I'm Tony Evers, the governor of Wisconsin. If you are a veteran struggling to pay for rent, utilities, or other life-sustaining services, I want you to know that the Veterans Rental Assistance Program is here to help. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin, with benefit approvals being issued to veterans in just days, not months. You have already made a most noble sacrifice. You shouldn't have to continue doing so. We are here to support you. With pride in the way, it's never easy to ask for assistance, but rest assured we are here to help. The VRAP team is standing by to help. So call 833-WISC-VRAP or visit vrapwi.com. You've always been there for us. We want you to know that we're here for you. On behalf of the state of Wisconsin, thank you.
Arby's, 2 for $7 every day. Arby's crispy classic chicken sandwich. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
Furniture store closing sale. Euro-style beds, mattresses, kitchens, and comfortable upholstered furniture and home decor all on sale. Everything must go at Black, Red, White Furniture, located at 6798 Watts Road, Madison.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Late last night, Chris Middleton had a decision to make. Pick up his $40 million player option and stay in Milwaukee, or test the waters of free agency. And the 31-year-old guard decided on the latter. But that doesn't mean he won't be back with the Bucks next season. The thought is that he'll re-sign with the team for a longer deal. Middleton's coming off a season where he averaged 15 points and nearly 5 assists per game. Now, the NBA draft is going on as we speak. The Bucks didn't pick until the second round, or don't pick until the second round, before the 5th straight year a Wisconsin native was selected in the first round. The Warriors took Brandon Podziemski 19th overall. He was the 2021 Wisconsin Mr. Basketball and the Wisconsin Gatorade Player of the Year. Podziemski played high school basketball at St. John's Northwestern Academies. Marissa Mosley and the Wisconsin women's basketball team released their Big Ten opponents for the upcoming season, and as expected, the Badgers conference slate will be tough. UW faced 5 teams in the preseason top 25, including matchups against number 3 Iowa, 6th-ranked Ohio State, and number 7 Indiana. Both the Hoosiers and the Hawks will come to the Kohl Center. Dates and times will be announced at a later date. When fall camp rolls around, Luke Fickell and the Badgers will pack up and head south to UW-Platteville. From August 1st through the 8th, Wisconsin will practice, hold meetings, and eat on the Pioneers campus. Fickell described the opportunity as a tremendous way to come together as a group on and off the field. And Platteville's no stranger to hosting. For 16 years, Pioneer Stadium served as the summer training camp for the Chicago Bears. While the Badgers head south, they got a commitment from a quarterback from down south. Landon Locke becomes Bucky's first commit from the 2025 class. The Rockwell, Texas native is the younger brother of redshirt freshman QB Braden Locke. It didn't take long for Rob Booker to find a home after he decommitted from Wisconsin yesterday. The Wanakee standout announced today that he's committing to UCLA. The 3-star tight end caught 27 passes for 360 yards and 6 touchdowns last season as a junior for the Warriors. As a captain, Britta Curl had one of her best seasons in Madison. She scored a career-best 42 points to lead Wisconsin to its 7th national championship, and she might have been even better off the ice. Curl was named a CSC second-team academic All-American, becoming the first Badger to earn the national honor since 2011. Her GPA, by the way, is 3.91. We're back after this.
Fresh produce is the best produce. That's why at Pick and Save, we invest in Wisconsin farmers to bring you the freshest seasonal picks. So no matter how you shop, your local produce always tastes as fresh as it gets. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
At Honda, we offer complimentary maintenance for 2 years or 24,000 miles. Just enjoy the ride, knowing we cover routine items like oil changes, tire rotations, and multi-point inspections. Honda Service Pass, available to purchasers of all 2023 Honda vehicles. Get yours today.
I have moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Now there's Skyrizi.
I've got symptom relief. Control of my Crohn's means everything to me. Control is everything to me.
Feel significant symptom relief with Skyrizi, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Skyrizi is the first and only IL-23 inhibitor for Crohn's that can deliver both clinical remission and endoscopic improvement. The majority of people on Skyrizi achieve long-lasting remission at 1 year.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to. Liver problems may occur in Crohn's disease.
Ask your gastroenterologist how you can take control of your Crohn's with Skyrizi.
Control is everything to me.
Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Have you ever been challenged, been tried, made a pact with your own limits? Have you been here, there, places no one should go? If you have, then you know that whatever you're capable of, so are we. No wonder Ford SUVs lead in brand loyalty. Now get Edge or Escape with 0% APR financing for 36 months, only at your Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers.
When you download the Pick and Save app, you have easy access to savings every day and get personalized coupons sent straight to your phone. Save big today when you download the Pick and Save app. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Mallards Baseball, Friday night. Come for the game, stay for the fireworks.
And Julian's back. Final check of the forecast.
It's going to be hot for the next couple of days and even some hazy skies for us here in southern Wisconsin. But the good news is we're finally going to get some rain. We've been talking about it all week, and now it's looking to be even more of a likelihood for us as we get into our Sunday and potentially even for our Monday as well. Cooler temperatures much for next week, and then we're looking at quiet conditions for those who are heading to Constitution Square for next Wednesday. As of right now, looking at no issues, and even temperatures in the upper 70s is going to feel pretty good. But our first one here is that Thursday and Friday of next week, we could see some rain, potentially thunderstorms.
Much needed. All right, Julian, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.